What's up, guys? Without wasting any time, let's jump straight into solo leveling. Ragnarok Chapter 61. The scene opens inside a control tower, a tall building overlooking the airport, filled with glowing monitors and constant radio chatter. Amidst the hum of machines, a blonde-haired air traffic officer adjusts his headset. A pilot's voice crackles over the radio. This is KAL 472. Control tower, please respond. The officer replies calmly. Yes, go ahead. The pilot continues. Currently at flight level 350, coordinates X north, south, over the skies near South Korea. I have a question. At this altitude, is it possible for snow to fall? The blonde officer leans back slightly, puzzled but amused. Of course not. It doesn't snow above the clouds. But the voice on the other side grows tense. Right? That's what common sense says. Then how should I explain this? The officer frowns. Before he can reply, static fills the channel. Inside the airplane cockpit, the pilots stare out the window in disbelief. A swirling black portal has opened in the sky, glowing ominously above their aircraft. Sweat drips down the pilot's forehead. A gate. Gate detected above South Korean airspace. Back on the ground, the blonde officer suddenly rises from his chair. A gate? Did he just say a gate? The entire control tower turns toward him, confusion spreading. The pilot's panicked voice cuts through the static again. A violent snowstorm is forming around the gate. At this rate, we might crash. Initiating emergency landing. Then silence. Only a faint crackle from the radio. A second later, a loud crash echoes through the frequency. And then nothing. The blonde officer stands frozen. The entire control room falls into a heavy, dead silence. No one speaks. No one even breathes. The scene shifts. Deep inside a dungeon, a massive wolf-type monster leaps forward, baring its fangs. But before it can even blink, its body is sliced clean apart. Standing among the remains is Sung Suho, the calm, yet fierce hunter. His new gauntlet glows with shadowy energy. I still haven't tried out Greed's skill, he mutters. I can feel my stats increasing after equipping Greed. It's a shame I couldn't test the skill, though. He looked toward his hand, summoning a glowing system window before him. Shadow item, Greed. Level 1. Creation rank, Heroic. Type, Gauntlet. Stat manifestation rate, 20%. Attack power, plus 280. Strength plus 28 vitality plus 22 agility, plus 20 intelligence, plus 14 perception plus 20. Effect, active skill, Smash. Mana cost, 400. Delivers a powerful strike that deals massive damage to solid structures. Damage to solid objects increased by 200%. Suho smirks slightly. If its manifestation rate rises with level, could I eventually reach S-rank stats? He turns around. His shadow soldiers continue mining mana stones from the dungeon walls. Since the mana stone mining is finished, he says, I'd better wrap things up before the dungeon collapses. As his soldiers work, Suho thinks to himself, my shadow soldiers can only last a day, so if I want to keep them permanently, I need to turn them into shadow items. A new window appears before him. Stored shadow items, 340/340. First, I'll release the lower-ranked ones among the stored items. Then recreate new ones using the shadow soldiers I gained here. As he speaks, several of his shadow soldiers dissolve into black mist, returning to him. Moments later, skill shadow creation has leveled up. The chance of creating higher-ranked items with shadow creation has increased. Black energy bursts around him. Dozens, then hundreds of new shadow items rise into the air, floating like dark stars orbiting around Suho. He stands in the center, calm, powerful, surrounded by his creations. A true successor of the Shadow Monarch. He scans through the loot, eyes calm, but calculating. As the skill level rises, high-grade items are definitely appearing more often. The common ones are dropping less and less. Suho mutters, analyzing the shimmering artifacts in front of him. At this rate, I might even start pulling heroic grade or higher soon. Let's see, what will I get this time? He lifts one of the drops, a pair of heavy, purple-lined gauntlets gleaming with runic light. A hero-grade item, huh? He sighs softly. I should be glad, but why another gauntlet of all things? It hasn't even been long since I got Greed. He turns the item in his hand, comparing it with his current gear. Too bad you can't customize the look of hero-grade equipment. Still, compared to the Manticore armor I just got, Greed gives higher stat bonuses anyway. Sliding the new gauntlet into his inventory, Suho straightens up. I'll just store it for now. With his work done, he steps out of the dungeon gate. Cool daylight washes over him as he walks across the barren field. Thanks to the Hunter Association convincing the other guilds, he thinks, I can keep clearing these field-type dungeons freely. But then his expression tightens. Still, I haven't found that Stardust factory anywhere. Did they already anticipate my movements and relocate ahead of time? Before he can think further, the dungeon's gatekeeper hurries toward him. Great work, Hunter Sung Suho. This time's field-type dungeon is. The man suddenly stops as Suho's phone buzzes. A glowing notification appears on the screen. Summons, hunters who received this message, report to the Hunter Association immediately. Suho narrows his eyes. Hunter Association? Did something happen? The scene shifts to the Hunter Association headquarters, a towering structure pulsing with tension. Inside a meeting room, 5 of South Korea's top hunters gather. Every face is serious. Among them is Park Jong-soo, an A-rank hunter and guild representative of the Night Order Guild. Even he feels the weight of the atmosphere pressing down. All the major guild leaders of South Korea gathered in one room. And I'm the only A-rank here. He gulps nervously. Guess I was called just because of my title, huh? At the head of the table, Baek Yoon-ho, the S-rank master of the White Tiger Guild, speaks first. I'm sure everyone already knows why this emergency meeting was called, right? Choi Jong-in, the calm but sharp leader of the Hunters Guild, adjusts his glasses. It's probably about the massive gate that appeared over South Korea's airspace. Across the table, Lim Tae-gyu, S-rank master of the Reaper Guild, folds his arms. So this meeting is to decide who gets the gate, then? A laugh breaks the tension. Ma Dong-wook, the bold S-rank leader of the Myeongseong Guild, grins. Haha. Well then, we of the Myeongseong Guild will be claiming this one. He smirks, glancing at Lim Tae-gyu. By the way, Master Lim, I heard you've got some good news. You recruited S-rank hunter Lee Eun-suk, right? How'd you convince that stubborn man when the rest of us failed? Lim Tae-gyu smiles faintly. It wasn't me. It was Hunter Park Do-jin who did that. I just happened to have capable guild members. At that, Choi Jong-in's face tightens. The loss of an S-rank recruit clearly stings. Just then, the doors burst open. Suho rushes in, slightly out of breath. Sorry for being late. I just finished clearing a field-type dungeon. Everyone turns to look at him, and both Park Jong-soo and Ma Dong-wook freeze in surprise. Their eyes widen. The S-rank hunter, Sung Suho? Ma Dong-wook suddenly got up from his seat, his massive frame towering over everyone. He strode straight towards Suho and grabbed his hand firmly. Well, look who it is. Isn't that Master Sung? Good to see you. Suho looks flustered, waving both hands quickly. Huh? Master? No. I'm not a master or anything. Before he can say more, Park Jong-soo leans forward with a bright smile. Hunter Sung Suho, you're still unaffiliated, right? Join our Night Order Guild. I promise, we'll treat you like royalty. Ma Dong-wook bursts into laughter again, cutting in. Royalty? Please. Suho, why don't you join our Myeongseong Guild instead? We've got better pay and better food. From the corner of the room, Choi Jong-in sighs, shaking his head. This feels familiar, he mutters. Suho smiles politely at both guild masters, giving a slight bow. I appreciate the offers, but I'll have to decline. I don't have any plans to join a guild right now. Both Ma Dong-wook and Park Jong-soo deflate instantly, shoulders dropping like disappointed kids. Suho laughs softly before greeting the others in the room, but inside, he's thinking. Now that I look around, I'm the only one here without a guild. Maybe creating my own guild would make things easier when recruiting others. I should really consider founding one. The doors open again, and 2 more people enter. Woo Jin-chul, head of the Korean Hunter Association's inspection unit, and his ever-composed secretary. Ma Dong-wook grins the moment he sees him. Master Woo, late again? You don't look too good either. What's wrong? Got a stomachache or something? Woo Jin-chul's face remains expressionless. My apologies, he says evenly. It took some time to organize the data. The laughter fades as Jin-chul's tone turns grave. He glances around the room, making sure everyone's attention is on him. Thank you all for responding to the association's summons. As I'm sure you're aware, A gate appeared above Korean airspace yesterday. A hush falls over the room. It was first discovered by the pilot of a passenger aircraft in flight. His voice lowers. But the plane was caught in the surrounding Manhwa field and crashed, causing many casualties. Gasps ripple through the room. Jin Shul continues, unflinching. The association immediately dispatched A-rank hunters to measure the gate's mana output. However, he pauses. The silence grows heavy. The energy readings far surpass that of any A-rank gate we've ever recorded. Therefore, it has been officially classified as an S-rank gate. The entire room erupts in shock. Even the seasoned guild leaders go pale. Suho's eyes widen. S-rank? Isn't this the first S-rank gate since the Great Cataclysm? Across the table, Choi Jong-in's voice darkens. The thing we feared most has finally happened. Suho glances around, watching even the most confident hunters fall silent. Even the veterans who survived the past look terrified. Are S-rank gates really that dangerous? He clenches his fists, his voice firm. But if we all prepare together, surely we can handle it, right? A chilling, insect-like hiss echoes suddenly. From Suho's shadow, Baru emerges, his insectoid wings glimmering faintly. That will be difficult, my lord, Baru says grimly. Even if all this strength were gathered, it would amount to nothing more than food for ants. The room freezes. Suho's eyes widen. Baru. The very sight of the ant-like creature sends shivers down Ma Dongwook's spine. He can feel sweat forming on his palms. That's the summoned creature everyone's been talking about. Sung Suho's familiar. Why is my body trembling all of a sudden? Suho sighs, smacking Baru lightly on the head. Baru, you don't know what you're talking about. Stop scaring everyone and get back inside. But Baru refuses to retreat. He stares straight at his master, voice filled with pride and a trace of sorrow. This Baru knows better than anyone. He says, wings slowly folding. Because the ruler of the S-rank gate that appeared in the previous world, he lifts his clawed hand toward the ceiling, eyes glowing, was none other than me, Baru. If you enjoyed the recap and storytelling, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more epic breakdowns and cinematic narrations just like this. Big shout out to everyone who's joined the channel, fam. Your support keeps these stories alive every week. Till next time, stay sharp, stay shadowed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Arise, hunters!